And there are those who say, well, that's really a sweet idea, and that'll probably make us feel better. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying you are talking to yourselves in order to have them behave in a certain way, because you are in charge of your chemistry. That soul of yours, that huge, enormous, multidimensional you, truly plays a part in everything we're discussing. Everything that is regarding your spirituality revolves in that soul. But the soul represents that piece of God, that piece of creative source that indeed you represent. More and more, I will tell you, the discovery of self in this new energy will involve the bigger you. We'll talk about the higher self. We haven't really got there yet, but we will. But this bigger you, this soul of yours, is the crux, the basis, the core of the Circle of 12. Always has been. The Circle of 12 represents a core teaching of how you can heal yourself from so many things. Heal yourself even of your environment, even of your chemistry. Can heal yourself in a way that changes physics. We've told you for years that you can have a situation where you are in control of your chemistry to the point where it will negate certain things that you ingest. That's how powerful you are. How to digest certain kinds of things. In control, did you know, of your sleep habits. You can instruct your consciousness. You can say before you go to sleep in a very late time at night, you have to get up early, you can instruct it, dear consciousness, give me the 3 or 4 hours tonight and make it seem like 7. And you think that's funny? People do that all the time because they have learned it works. Because the chemistry of the body and all that gives you the rest you need is paying attention. And the chemistry that gives you a deep sleep can give you a deep sleep, even if you don't have one. All of these things I tell you because it's coming. It's coming in a way that you won't expect, and not necessarily through science, but what science discovers about you. You are multidimensional. We spoke of the guides and the angels today, and all of you have them. All of you. There'll be so many humans who say, yes, I know that. I have had them all my life. I had them even as children, you'll say. And there will be those of you who say, I don't have any of them. Well, I'll tell you something. Every human being meets them when they're a child. Did you know that? Some of you cannot even remember your childhood because you were so invested in the worries of your culture or being an adult and being responsible that going back to that which is your inner child perhaps is not available, and others of you can. But I will tell you this, every single human meets their guides. And when you're a child, they're fun. They're not frightening and they're not scary. And when you're a child, you often ask them for help or protection. Because even as a child, you have that knowledge, that overview, that there's something bigger that's there to help you. So often in your cultures, that is then taught out of you. And what I mean by that, as you grow older, your parents will say, well, now it's time to grow up and stop thinking about those imaginary friends you have, dear. So why don't you now think a little better, more like a grown-up? And you do. And they go away. Have you ever thought perhaps it's time for them to return? Some of you say, well, they're here. I work with them every day. And some of you, many of you, perhaps even most of you, say, really? I have guides? I would love to meet them. So why don't we? And you know what's coming next. All of these programs and everything we do I want you to relax in the beauty of the love of God and Spirit that sits on you right now as we are about ready to cross the bridge yet again in a way that we have done over and over and over. This time I want you to think to yourself, if you choose, I recognize this. I've done it over and over. Let's get to it, Kryon. I like this. And go with a smile instead of apprehension. And some of you may say, I still don't understand all of it. I don't understand the basis of it. And I say to you, you don't have to. You truly do not have to. It has always been there. It is something that many of you experience and you don't even know it when you go into that which is the dream world. Come with me. Let's cross the bridge together. Take my hand. Let's go now. It's an imaginary metaphoric bridge. It spans the known to the unknown. It takes you from that human being in skin to the human being in the cosmos. It takes you to your bigger self, the bigger you. You walk across that bridge and through that mist, which is often there to obfuscate what is on the other side, and here you are, again in an area that feels so good. Some of you hear the music, some of you do not. And not the music that is playing now, but the music of your own soul. Some of you love this in a way that you expect. This is where I can feel the healing that I never was able to feel before, because everything here is possible. And you'd be right. You'd be right. If you have cognized what we are doing, if you really believe and understand what we are doing, you are now in an area that has heretofore been reserved for the masters. You are in your soul. You are in it like the soup of your soul. It's thick with the love of Spirit, with the past that is yours, with the future that is coming, with what may very well be happening next in your life that you don't expect. It'll make you smile because it's coming and it's good. Now would be a wonderful time for the healing you deserve. But right now, let's take a trip backwards in time. Dear ones, come to the theater in the round with me through that portal which is yours. Come with me to that stage which has always been there, which is always yours. It is a stage of learning and healing. It is a stage that says, I am a kind, gentle place where you can come to anytime you wish and talk to those who you need to see or talk to or heal you. We've been here now for a year or so, program after program, and we invite you to come up, feel comfortable with yourself and sit in the chair. Do it yet again, and you sit in the chair. Anticipatory you might be, saying, what is next? But you already know. We've spoken of it. Every single one of you has guides, and you met them as children. I want you to come back with me, because in this magic place of your soul, time does not exist. So it's not about remembering when you were a child, dear ones. You are a child. You're a child, you're a senior, you're everything in between for many lives in this place. And you sit here, and as the lights come up in the audience, you see it is filled with memories that are beautiful. Whether it's this lifetime or others in an Akashic way, all of you have been children who have had these guides help you, be with you, laugh with you, giggle with you. The guides surely are ones that help you through life, but you first meet them as a child. I want you to get small right now. I want you to have that child's body with that beautiful, mature mind you have spiritual. That spiritual mind, and yet you look at the guides and you say, I remember you. Oh, I was very small when you first showed up. And they will laugh and they will giggle. Some of them want to come up on stage right now with you. In fact, some of them are. The ones perhaps that were yours that you knew and that you have remembered, or perhaps not, but now you're remembering, will come up on stage, and there's a few of them, and they may want to come up and hold your hands and laugh and say, remember when, remember when. And they will say to you collectively, dear one, let's rekindle all of this. Let us into your life yet again in a childlike way. Let us guide you and laugh and giggle the whole time. When you wake up in the morning, let us be there so you can smile and not think of the chores of the day. Let us be here so we can calm your cellular structure as you work through the puzzles you came for. Let us be here from your soul to you. Let your guides, dear ones, rekindle a relationship of fun and help and benevolence in your life. And I want you to stay in this place. I want you to stay in this place, perhaps holding the hands of a few and looking at all of the others who are congratulating you and saying, do you remember us? We were in a past life here, there. Remember us? We were in a past life. And the ones that you have around you saying, yes, we were too. You're the same ones you had last time. Can you see their faces in your mind? Perhaps. All benevolent, all kind, all happy, waiting to make the healing active that you came for, whether it's fear, anxiety, or cellular. That's what they do. That's what they're for. Real they are, dear ones. And so many of you remember this right now. I want you to stay and giggle. I want you to stay and smile. I want you to stay and laugh because of what is going on right now with your chemistry, because you've allowed it. I am Kryon. Stay. Stay. And so it is.
have a diagnosis and you're like, I could die. And it calls you to potentially connect with something that is truly substantial, the inner connection. And then this like global burst of the fallout of that, right? Like life as we know it. Or if you haven't been maybe versed with this and you're just kind of starting to awaken now and go, wait a minute, what's actually really true? And you look within, it may have been a much more tumultuous path where you're still anchored into some of those structures. You still think your job is your source. You still think your body is what you are. So if the body is sick or the body dies, I'm just devastated. If I lose my job, what am I? I don't have a title. I don't have that income. That's my source. So to the degree we are anchored in the outer as the true reality, this is going to be a little bit of a, I don't know if I can say shitstorm. Like
I'm not sure if you can say that or not. But
I think leave out the word storm and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think right. I think people are used to the word storm. We're fine. We're just fine.
And just with great compassion, that really is the intensity with which people are experiencing. It's like we don't even have a word. It's too big. So it's calling, however, all of us to find what is the true center, what is the truth. And when we connect even a little bit more within ourselves, which we'll share some tools here just in a simple way to do that, it can allow the dissolution of that outer chaos.
Can we have some examples, outcomes, the things that you've seen?
So from the medical standpoint, because of course I've seen a lot of people with severe chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, all kinds of diagnoses that maybe you're like, what do I even do with this diagnosis? If it's some weird food allergy or multiple chemical sensitivity, or why do I really have migraines? MS, thyroid disease. And this is a big part of the people who will find my work online, that they begin to understand I'm not just a physical, like I'm an infinite being having a physical experience. So I am first and foremost vibrational. Now, when we begin to shift into understanding that, like it won't make any sense. You're like, what is she talking about? Because we can't understand it from the mind that thinks I'm physical, the mind that knows this truth. We can only choose to start to soften, and even just physically softening the physical body, letting the breath come in, a more deep, fluid breath, so that we can perceive this truth I'm pointing at. Like I'm vibrational, first and foremost, and secondarily playing in the realm of the physical. It's a very different alignment. So for all of the people that I've seen have healing where it's like I was in the bed for 3 years, or I was told I would die in 6 months, or, fill in the blank with the ailment of choice. I was told I'd have to live in pain forever and just be on narcotics. From that adventure or experience to actually having a full and complete resolution where I'm like, this person no longer has. Jessica Sullivan, who's now on my team, had this journey where she had 3 years bedbound. Her life completely fell apart. And now she's 100% functional, dancing, singing, moving around her life and working, and has a very fruitful life with 2 children that came after she was told she would never have children. She's a great example because she understands that it's an inner journey. Like no one could give it to her. And she would have taken the magic pill all day long. Please just give it to me. But from the foundation of helplessness she was in, she couldn't have wholeness. So she had come through this journey of the work that I'm doing and had a massive shift. And, is now sharing that journey with others. Another woman named Alicia has had really severe suicidal depression, severe anxiety, stomach problems, food problems. That is completely resolved in her body. And she's in the same boat, like fully functioning in life and sharing this with others. Most people, when they have this kind of transformation, are super inspired to share what they've come through and what their journey's been. Another woman had very severe MS and was, a hospital bed in her dining room. The whole house had been revolving around her care. And they told her she had about 6 months to live. And she is also like walking, starting to walk and move her body and developing a business and having a whole different life. But it's that first shift where we begin to see, wait a minute, I'm not a physical body. I'm not broken. I'm an infinite being. First of all, okay, I don't know what that means, but let me just open to consider a possibility that's bigger than the one I have imagined or the one I have been shown. And so one of the things I have people do just to begin to let that in, because it will make sense. Like your wisdom will inform you. You do not have to read 150 books like I read. You really can just begin to soften and let that wisdom guide you. It's who you are. It's the intelligence that created your body. And when we do something as simple as just, bring your shoulders up and let them fall. For me, I automatically go more into belly breath, like my diaphragm release a little more. Because even when I'm speaking to you, there's some like excitement that comes in the body that can create tension. We don't need that. It's not going to serve me. So in whatever you're doing, see if you can pull your shoulders up, take a deep breath in, and then let it all go. And then let a fluid breath come. It will come for you, a little more relaxation in the body. You'll feel it more full. If you've carried tension for many, many years, you might have to do a little more of this, tension and release to really feel it. But your body will practice into it very quickly. Now, this changes your nervous system. This is the first thing I'm going to speak about. Electromagnetically, because we are vibrational, that's the first shift. That's the instant. It's an instantaneous shift. We can measure this up to 8 to 10 feet away from the body. If you're in tension and fear, what do I need to do? I hope she can help me. Or wait, I have a diagnosis. And we go into that clamp down. We are electromagnetically closed, so to speak. We can't let something new in. So if we just kind of like, all right, I am scared, and let me just have a breath anyway. Physically soften. We do create an immediate, instantaneous electromagnetic shift. Now, there's really cool devices. Institute for Heart Math has lots of research on this, and they'll quantitatively look at this. And what is the shift in frequency from like tension, let me get help, I don't know what to do, to curiosity. I don't understand this, but maybe I'll listen, right? Just a 2% shift will actually register in a very powerful way in your electromagnetic field, meaning your vibrational frequency. The other fascinating things that we see it's not new research, it's actually way back from like the 80s, where they would look at the physiology shift, where, I have this new thought. It's okay to let go. Let me just get curious. And it will shift your physiology, meaning like the inflammatory hormones, the adrenal hormones of stress hormones, cortisol and epinephrine, adrenaline, the things that are shown to underlie every major chronic illness that most people are dying from will shift very, very quickly. So your cells begin to like communicate a new message. But the first thing that I think is so fascinating is your brain with this electromagnetic shift begins to open. We have different areas of the brain lighting up. The stress areas maybe sort of like mellow out a little. The areas of the brain saying, no, it's not safe. I can't let go. I've got to manage. I've got to control. That have us not see will sort of mellow out and calm down. Mm-hmm. And we can sometimes instantaneously have a new perception like, oh, this makes sense. Mm-hmm. And we realize all the ways maybe we have understood this in a deeper way, or this does make sense, or like, oh, wait, this one time when that happened to me, those areas of the brain light up, like everything you ever did right and showing you, wait a minute, I am powerful. Yeah. I am pretty capable. So we can like immediately transition out of the what I would see in the ER all the time, the helpless victim, right? Oh, my symptoms are acting up. Help me. That keeps us from letting wisdom and awareness in. And even that little bit of shift of softening the body, breathing more fully, and that frequency shift starts creating neurologic changes in your brain that totally alter perception. And then, of course, physiologic, chemical, hormonal changes in your body that literally reverse disease.
Brilliant. Well, I love all of what you said, and it's true. We cannot heal when we're trying to figure it out with the mind.
Right.
Everything is vibration, and it is allowing the body to relax. That's where the healing comes. That's the magic. And I know that you have a free gift to give our members, which is to do that exact thing, to take people into an instant elevation technique. So if you can just finish up, because we're almost out of time, but we'd love to hear about your website, how people can get in touch with you and what you have to offer, and your free gift.
Yes. So I've converted my medical practice now to do solely this work of mind-body medicine and assisting that awakening and healing. So my work is at drkimd.com. And one of the tools I found to just be like the universal thing that helped me unlock that connection within my body, and then really very quickly the healing within my body, I call it the instant elevation tool. So there's 3 component parts, very simple. And in the tool, we'll share the link here. I guide you through how to use this tool. It's very, very simple. You can do it in seconds, but for the first few times, you might go through this little guidance of how I guide you through it in several minutes to just become more adept, become more connected within, and create some of those changes in your brain. So a lot more awareness comes in, and this begins to make sense to you as well. I do a broadcast each week called Mind Body TV on Wednesdays. If you go to my site or my YouTube channel, Dr. Kim Duramo, there's information for that. It's a free broadcast, so people can tune into that conversation and receive tools and just more guidance, and I'll answer some questions. And so now I'm no longer in the ER, and I'm solely doing this work globally.
This is your family. You belong here.
Absolutely.
And we welcome you.
Absolutely.
And there is no judgment. So from now on, you're not alone, especially when you're with us.
You are not alone, definitely. So with that theme that we are not alone, let's together in this beautiful group of coherent, loving hearts, move into a meditation and welcome the message from Kryon that is going to be shared about our soul. And in this soup of energy that we are feeling, just allow yourself to relax, close your eyes. Allow the muscles within your face to let go and relax. Allow your shoulders, arms, and hands to relax. Allow your back, chest, and abdomen to relax. Allow your legs, knees, calves to relax. And as you feel the energy within your feet relax, feel the connection that you share with the planet Earth. There are beautiful grids of energy throughout Earth connecting you through your feet to the earth. And so let's visualize the energy coming back up through our feet is energy that's connecting to the feet of every single person on the planet. And in this awareness, as we are thinking about that connection, our own coherent field is being further enhanced by our focused intent of our feet connecting to the grids which connect to the other feet of those listening now. And in the future, they are also in there now, but they are also connecting to this grid through the energies of the earth coming to them through their feet. And allow that energy to move up through your body, coming into your heart area. This is the place of our belonging. This is the place of our soul sharing. This is the place of our oneness with each other, with the planet. And in this energetic posture, let us welcome the beautiful, loving messages from Kryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Once again, we come to you in this place of grandeur, healing, magnificence, because you're here. We have said this before. This is how Spirit sees you, dear ones. The magnificence of the human being is the starting point that we come from when we speak to you. The irony is that so many humans don't feel magnificent. Dear ones, I want to talk to you more about these things and some of the helps in the past. And it has to do with your soul. We've spoken of the soul every week, and we will continue to. This particular channel, this message about the extraordinary things about your soul is a bit different. We've spoken about these attributes before, perhaps not exactly in this way. I want to talk about guides and angels. Question: Kryon, where do guides and angels come from? The answer that you would expect from any spiritual leader, or perhaps a channeler, they would come culturally from what you call heaven, the other side of the veil. That's where they come from. What if it wasn't? What if it was, but it wasn't exactly as you think? What if instead it was built into a process of help for all of you that comes? Are you ready?
Of that CT scan, she could feel an energy shift and her headache pain was significantly reduced. She had other things occur as well, which included a seeming visit from an angel. She is asking, can this incredible healing experience be the result of having visited the Circle of 12 many times?
Wendy, do you expect me to say no? Yes, truly. I've had some experiences as well, but let me just tell you about the Circle of 12. Every time you visit the Circle of 12, I'd say you are imbibed more and more with spiritual awareness, healing, understanding within your consciousness. It's cumulative. It truly is. It's almost like a learning experience. And this Circle of 12, by the way, I've been in that Circle of 12 for years, even before I started this. So I'm telling you something from experience, and I have a personal story in a moment. So therefore, you might say that you are in a culmination of what you've given intent for over and over in the Circle of 12. And every time you do it, it's almost like when you exercise a muscle, you are more aware of it and you start to live it. Therefore, I could even say eventually you become the Circle of 12. So I hope that answers your question. But yes, now you had a CT scan and what you've described. I had a personal experience. I had 2 MRIs 2 or 3 years apart. First one was scary, indicating heart disease and marks in the heart that showed I had had a heart attack. They don't go away, they're scars. The second one I had nothing. And we even did it again. We said, well, how? And we had a CD of the first one. In other words, we had a record of it. It wasn't just something that they said. They had a record of it. In other words, something had happened. I knew at that moment I had had a profound healing. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it until the second one revealed that healing. This is why we do the Circle of 12. Some people are asking, why am I not feeling anything? Or why is it I just feel good, but what's being healed? You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what's happened that may have affected what may happen later. It's profound stuff. I have actually gone through it. So thanks for the questions that allowed me to talk about my own personal life. But yes, it does make a difference, definitely. Thanks, Wendy.
That's what I love about the Circle of 12 is being in the energy again and again. The repetition, I think, is what, like you said, it is a cumulative experience.
Can I just tell you from my standpoint of giving the Circle of 12?
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
The repetition helps me a lot. It is a place that I want to go to. I love doing this because it's a time when I get to drop into my heart. And I'm experiencing the same thing everyone's experiencing, even though I'm guiding the meditation. Anyone who gives meditation will tell you that. It's a form of channeling, first of all. All meditations are a form of channeling. Yeah. And you pull from that place that's beyond your consciousness, giving the guidance for a good meditation. And it has to help those who are giving it. So I look forward a lot to it.
We all do.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Thank you, Kryon. So our next question is from Ruta. Ruta is in Oslo, Norway. The question is, can you talk to another person's cells or innate? Great question. Lee, can you talk to someone else's cells or innate?
Ruta, this is very much like the questions we've been asked to, can I heal somebody else? It's a very good question. The answer basically is no. You cannot talk to another's cells or innate. But there are processes where it seems like you can. How can a healer heal somebody else? I mean, they're called a healer, and people get off their table healed. What a healer does is balance someone else's awareness, consciousness, or cellular structure with energy so that they can heal themselves. You want me to say that again? Healers don't heal, they balance. And so what every single healer knows is that they get somebody into a position. First of all, if they've done this for a while, they know that on their table they'll ask them, do you give me permission to work with your cells? And the answer is yes. You've already then crossed the bridge. Then their cellular structure starts to understand the energy. It's almost like consciousness homeopathy, where the healer then gives the suggestions or the energy and the body feels it and heals. So you're not talking to somebody else's cells or their innate, but what you're doing is you're a way shower that gives them the ability to understand how to do it themselves. It'd be great if we can simply say, okay, you're going to heal or you're going to heal whatever. We have got to do it ourselves. Now, this is controversial because there will be those who say, well, I've done this long distance thing and then somebody didn't even know that they had trouble and I healed them. Kryon has said over and over, this is an individual process with your own consciousness, with your own soul. You have to be involved. And so if somebody even does long distance healing, and we believe it, they're expecting it or they're working with it, you're sending them energy where they awaken and they will have a revelation, and that is then a self-healing. Everything we do takes you to a place where you can see and awaken to heal yourself. It's an expose of what you perhaps didn't know, and there's great ahas. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know innate could really listen to what I'm saying. So although the answer is no, you cannot then talk to somebody else's cells, you really can in other ways, and that is to balance the energy for their cells, inform, awakening. That's what a way shower, that's what shamanic energy does. It's a way shower of energy that helps somebody then on the path to their own healing. That's what I hope that the Circle of 12 is doing. That's what I know it's doing for many people.
Beautiful. So if I just summarize what you were conveying is talking to your cells, talking to your innate is your relationship with yourself, but we can still send someone the intent, the benevolent energies around them.
Exactly.
Great. Good distinction. So wonderful questions, by the way. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And so we're going to move into a short meditation and our channel from Kryon.